Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPa here again, and the road to Lightfall is heating up with a brand new Neomuna environment trailer, and I'm very excited. This, in my opinion, is the best looking location we've seen so far in Destiny's history, and that includes the Dreadnought and Dreaming City, both of which are phenomenal. But this one just hits all the right notes for me personally, so I want to check this out and see what it looks like with you guys, because, yeah, very exciting
Just look
times.
at this place. We always thought we were the last ones left.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I like the vibes for
Welcome
sure.
to Neptune, Lightbearer. I hope we can find common ground.
Cloud
Or
Strider
at
right
least
from the
common
jump.
enemies. Callus is ready to annihilate this city. Stand with me to defend Neomuna and its people.
Yeah, that looks sick. It looks so cyberpunk. I'm ready. Oh, we're gonna see Cloud Striders in combat?
Oh, is that you, my tenacious little guardian?
I love Callus.
So good of you to be tonight's entertainment.
Tormentor, let's go. Oh, this trailer is sick.
Is this all the Traveler's chosen guardians can muster?
We get a tank, of course. Love tank.
You cannot escape oblivion. Embrace the end.
That's sick. Okay, I'm a big fan. Let's go through this. So we get to meet a Cloud Strider right here, which is awesome in my opinion. Our first good look at one up close, and it's probably this. I would imagine this is going to be the NPC that we meet on Neomuna who helps us out, and I'm glad we're working with the Cloud Striders right away because there's a tendency to have us be rivals with everybody and then eventually come to work with like we've seen with the Cabal and the Fallen and all that stuff. And I just want to be allies from the rip. I hope that's the case. Maybe an uneasy alliance, but nothing too crazy. We're not going to be fighting Cloud Striders or anything. And it showed that the Cloud Striders were actually fighting the Vex. I'll be interested to see why the Vex are here as well overall, because that'll be something that's very interesting with the story, because we didn't know about this place, but the Vex did, and now Callus did. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out for sure. Yeah, look at the environment. It's very like a mix of these darkness ships as well as this light aspect of the kind of cyberpunk Neomuna location. I feel like it's a good contrast for sure. Like this here, tremendous. I love this. I'm all in on these plants here, the location overall, the armor set actually for this. I think a warlock, very good. I think this is one that if you don't like it, I understand. But for me personally, you can mix and match this in with some current armor sets. It's gonna look fantastic. So same thing with this back here. When we first see the Guardians over here, looking at these, like that's the Warlock set, the Hunter, and the Titan. I think the Titan one might be my least favorite of the three. However, I do feel like having this, like the kind of lead shooting War Titan, you combine this with like a machine gun and stuff, you can create a fantastic look with some of these pieces. So that's what I'll say for me personally. But I do like the Warlock set, the helmet especially. So we got that. Yeah, flying above these kind of rocks that we've seen in the past with various activities in Destiny. That's not new. This location, the little tree here with the flowers, I like it. Nice scenery for sure. This is the Cloud Strider that's actually fighting the Vex. And their design is really cool in my opinion. Very futuristic looking. Like these spikes coming off of them. I would love for them to set up a situation where we get to either play as Cloud Striders in a future game or a future like one-off thing, I think that would be awesome. Unveiling these now at the end of Destiny's Light vs. Dark saga is very interesting to me. Again, Callus here, little throne room action. This location with all these bodies is going to be very fascinating to explore for sure. Because we'll probably fight one of these big guys like we've seen. I'm assuming we're going to get vibes of the old Leviathan raid in this expansion, the campaign. Personally, that's my guess. Because it would make a lot of sense, right? Callus is coming back. He's now kind of has his shadow legions, but also you can definitely see the history there with the Leviathan and them throwing out some of the similar enemies that we've seen with the Leviathan and stuff like that. I think that would make the most sense when we're talking about having him be the end boss of this campaign for sure. Some standard locations. This is when it starts to light up like this is when I really like the aesthetic of this location. We've got the purple cabal now. The Shadow Legion makes sense. This will be interesting. This is probably what we'll commune with to get Strand, I would imagine. That's just a guess of mine. I'm not 100% sure. But I think that's going to be very fascinating to see how that all works out. Now we move on a little bit. Tormentor. The Tormentor, in my opinion, is a possible game changer, but a lot of it depends on how it plays out in-game, right? They said they're going to be wandering Neomuna. There's going to be kind of almost like boss fights that you get to take on. Hopefully they do it like random world bosses or something like public events, but like upgraded. So I don't know. I would love to see them be really challenging for like 3 players, but even more so potentially like 6 players need to get together to take it down. Like we've seen with Escalation Protocol, but with better matchmaking, I would guess. So you don't have to like leave and come back to make sure you have a whole team taking them on. Something like that where you have a full crew of 6 to 9 players would be awesome to take on a guy like that. Then we see the Strand here. Like the falling between the various locations was cool. But then the Strand grapple hook is going to be massive. I know they said it replaces your grenade. And there are some locations on Neomuna where your grapple instantly recharges. So that's going to be nice because it'll allow you to take advantage of the Strand grapple hook in the PvE without abusing it in something like PvP or raids or anything like that. But I'm excited to get hands on. And then we got some more Strand action here from our various characters, which I'm very excited about. I think the Strand action is going to be a ton of fun. Especially, I got some pushback on talking about the Strand Titan. They're like, oh, it's another melee one. For me personally, the whirlwind action, some of the things that it does, I feel like is going to separate it from your standard Titan Super. Personally, gotta have tanks in the campaign. That's just a rule in Destiny. It's gotta happen. So I'm in on that. Some of these weapons look interesting. It looks like potentially a Strand trace rifle there. That would be lit. And then we've got Callus finishing off. We also got some looks at locations that are familiar, but from the past, but modernized with Neomuna as well, which I like to see as well. Also, we've got a massive ship here. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be looming in the background, which is awesome. Probably where we're going to end up the campaign, in my personal opinion. And yeah, overall, I thought this was a banger trailer. It definitely increases the hype going into Lightfall. We have a few weeks to kill off the season where I feel like everyone should be dabbling in other games potentially and getting themselves ready for Lightfall, because once Lightfall hits, obviously I'll be consumed with that, and I'm sure you will be as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have loads of Destiny content throughout the rest of the month, but also heading into Lightfall itself. And yeah, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. You've seen some other videos on the channel, if you're subscribed, where I'm actually talking about my predictions for Lightfall as well, so definitely check those out. My name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.